guys, welcome back to our podcast. This is My Sister's Crown. It's your girl Chani.
I'm Summer.
And I'm Kita.
How's everybody doing today?
Doing good. I'm feeling free. Feeling good.
A weekend. Got an extra day off from work. Woo! We're ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys have a good week?
Yeah, I had a great week. No kids.
No kids.
Yeah, for the week, for some part of the weekend. So it was really good. It was really cool. Much needed.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you from the last conversation we had, is everything situated with like school and all, or
for me?
For both of you guys.
Yeah, for me, it's been okay. Friday, I was a little frustrated on Friday. I think that was like the only day I was really just fed up. So Thursday, I was really excited. I got to shadow somebody in court, and it was like the second time I've done it, but first time since I've been in law school. So I was really excited about doing it. So I went there. I was there all day, and then I had class starting at like 6. So I had to pick up my daughter from my mom's and then rush down to the house and then literally hop on school, and that I get done till like 10. And like I took off Friday with the purpose of spending time with my family. And I was like, I'm gonna take off Friday. I don't have any class. I don't have anything. I had only this one assignment I needed to do by Friday night, but I didn't think it was like that big of a deal, blah, blah, blah. It was something called core grammar. And when I tell you I woke up early, you needed an 85 to pass. I took that test 4 times that day, and I kept getting 84s and 82s. And it's 99 questions. So it wasn't even like a quick.
You showed us the sample. That's crazy.
So I was just so frustrated. I was just so frustrated because I really took off with the intention of just spending quality time with my daughter and my husband and just having a good day. And it just was like this cloud over my head all day of this assignment that I just couldn't, for some reason, I just couldn't get past. And that day, like Friday was really hard for me. Like it was really, really hard. But I did eventually pass, but at like 10 o'clock.
Woo! Wow.
So you passed, girl.
Yeah, you passed. You made it. You made it over the hurdle.
I don't even know why I'm getting teary-eyed. I was just
it's
really
stressful, I know.
I was really mad.
But you made it. You did it.
I did. But besides that, it's okay. It's going good. I'm understanding the subject matter, which is the most important thing. But besides that, I'm still trying to get some kinks out in regards to the schedule.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely sending some positive vibes your way, that's for sure.
Thank you.
So this week, guys, what we want to talk about might be a little bit of a heavy topic. We definitely want to talk about what's going on in Wisconsin. Definitely want to talk about Jacob Blake. Do you guys know exactly what's going on?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the situation, Marquita?
To shoot a man 7 times, I just feel like that's very excessive. From what I read, they're saying that he was reaching for a knife. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
He was reaching for a knife. But I believe also what I read, his attorney said that he was going to check on his 3 children in the back. But either way, I just feel like to shoot a man 7 times, I can't get that out of my mind. I just don't know how you justify that. That's where I'm at with it. It's just sad. I'm so sick of hearing the same stories over and over and over again. I don't really watch the news a lot because of those reasons. My mother always gets on me about it. You need to watch the news, but I really sometimes I just can't. I can't do it. So I think that's where I'm at. My thoughts on everything that's going on with Jacob Blake. My prayers go out to him and his family.
Oh, 100%. I just can't even imagine. I feel like every other week, almost every other day, we're hearing the same exact story, but with a different person. It's
Yeah.
all with a similar situation, but it's always the same thing. We're not seeing any change. And the people that are saying with the protests in Kenosha, some people understand, some people don't. And it's a bigger picture than what some small-minded people are thinking about. Like, I personally might not know what your struggles are, but I can empathize because it's hard, like seeing all this happen all the time and there's no change, and it's annoying. It's frustrating. It's gets you angry.
Yeah. I remember when everything started happening. I think like COVID had just started, and then the protests and the riots were going on, and I remember feeling so anxious every day. Just feeling like I remember crying and just feeling so like nervous and scared.
You always got that lump in your throat.
Yeah, and that's a big part of why I try to stay away from watching the news. Like people that know me, they'll be like, Marquita, get off of the news. Like, don't watch it, or I'll take social media breaks. Like even now I find myself, I'm not even on Instagram as much as I used to be. Like I have these periods where I'm just off and I really have no explanation for it. I'm just not on. But it's just hard. It's hard. It's really hard to hear. It's really hard.
Yeah, and then to hear the stories of what he went through in the hospital. I read that he was handcuffed to his bed. Like, come on. It's just a lot. And then I recently saw a video that he posted, just saying that he's doing well, just like keep the prayers up for him and his family. But just to think that in a matter of a second your life can change, and now he's paralyzed from the waist down, like, that's just crazy. And then I don't know if you want to go into a little more detail down, but with the riots or the protests that were happening in Kenosha, did you guys hear about that kid named, I hate this kid, Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah. Kyle Rittenhouse was a which a lot of people know by now, is a 17-year-old. He was accompanying a militia, which I thought militias were very much outdated. Militias were used back in the Revolutionary War before formal police were actually created. So I'm not really understanding why they're still around, but whatever. I'll make a point to that later. And whatever the issue was, there was a group of protesters, and then there was these militiamen, and this kid had a long gun, and then he ended up firing. He fired and hit somebody dead in the face. Then when they tackled them, when they realized that the protesters came and tackled him, he kind of twisted his gun around, shot at another person in self-defense. And then he got up, and I guess he started walking back to the police like this and past the police line. The police then rushed, I guess, to the person who was hurt, from my understanding. And then, but Kyle was able to, while being identified as the shooter by those around him, he was able to then go back to his state, like the area that he was at. His mother, what I've learned, his mother actually drove him across state lines to defend this particular business that he had no affiliation to. He wasn't related to the owners. He just was joining these militiamen in this campaign, I guess, to literally just get into some trouble. And I'm mad at his mother for not saying you don't need to be a part of that. I'm mad at him for feeling comfortable enough to have a weapon and wave it in a crowd of angry people. I don't understand. 17-year-old is still a child to me.
Yep.
You should not have a long-range gun. You should not be out there. There was no reason for that child to be out there, none whatsoever. So I'm not really understanding why he was out there. He's absolutely a murderer. He's absolutely was a part of a terrorist group. I talked to a couple of the people that I work with, who are involved in law enforcement, and I was saying, you know, how do you guys view militia? They were like, militia is literally another form of the Klan. And this was a
Yeah.
white guy. This was a white, a white male Republican. And he was like, militia, he's like, I don't respect them. They're just bullies. They just like to come around and wave their guns around to make themselves feel better about themselves. I don't get down with the needing to carry an assault rifle. I think assault rifles they're unnecessary, in a peaceful, quote unquote, peaceful society.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can defend yourself with a pistol. You can defend yourself with a regular gun. You don't need an assault rifle. You don't need an assault rifle to hunt a deer. Like there's just no reason for it.
There's people
So
that
that
go
was
hunting and use bow and arrows.
yes. So that's what I was thinking about. That kid has been led down the wrong path and fed information that made him feel justified in his actions.
Oh,
Something made
100%.
something made him romanticize this idea of I feel good because I got this gun
I'm gonna
and
be a hero.
I'm gonna be a hero. So and then clearly he didn't have the maturity to have the gun because there was no reason for him to shoot it. There was no reason for him to shoot it. So that's another reason why he shouldn't have had the gun, because he wasn't at the mature age in order to deal with the responsibilities that come with owning a gun.
Mm-hmm.
So it was frustrating to me. I did have conversations with the people that I work with, and they were just saying, I don't understand those police giving these militiamen water. He's like, we shoot ourselves in the foot all the time.
Well, mm-hmm.
The behaviors, why wouldn't you separate it? Why wouldn't you diffuse? Why would you ever give water to either? Like, if you're not going to give water to both sides, then don't give water to any.
Just adding fuel to the fire.
There's this group of militiamen. I don't know what they're called, but my boss was telling me about. There's these people in Philly. They come every year, once a year, for their gun rights showcase, and they walk.
It's in Fishtown.
Yeah, and they stand on the steps of some federal building.
Yes.
And every year, PPD has to, Philadelphia Police Department has to find some type of ordinance to order them away. Because I guess legally they are allowed to open carry if they have permits, but you have to. They were saying that they have to get like some type of ordinance, like loitering or something like that, to tell them to go away. Because I was like, are you guys like okay with them? Like, no, like, this is stupid, like this. But at the same time, like, what is being done about it? What is being done about it? I did ask him, I said, why don't more police officers, when you see someone misbehaving and you see somebody doing something they weren't supposed to, it's from another police officer, why don't y'all step in? Why is that not a part of the culture? Because to me, that would alleviate a little bit of the frustration, not all of it, a little bit, if we knew that in the case of George Floyd, if any one of those police officers said, bro, like, all right, like, let's get him up, let's get him out of here, before the, 8 minutes and 43 seconds, then at least that's like, okay, you at least tried. Doesn't it all justify
you acknowledge that it's wrong,
that something was wrong being done in that moment. And so I asked him, I said, how, y'all get frustrated with civilians being frustrated with y'all, but this is the issue. Everybody's quiet.
So I'm gonna tell you why, though. I'm gonna tell you why, because it's a brotherhood. There's a blue veil that is people say isn't there, but it really is there. So it's fraternity. Everyone protects each other. Everyone protects their own. So let's say if for example, we're in law enforcement. I'm doing something bad. But then if one of you decides to speak up against me, I can go to someone else and say, hey, Dara Marquita tried to reprimand me, and then I can get you guys in trouble and try to push you out, or some shit will happen to you. Because I've heard plenty of stories.
Yep.
Yeah, because I have family in law enforcement. Like, I hear the stories. I know what goes on behind the scenes, and I'm sure some you as well, Don. Like, they're 100% is a blue veil, and it is a fraternity. They look out after each other. And if someone does speak out, there is someone that is much more higher that will come up and try to make it go away and sweep it under the rug.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's frustrating. And I was like, you have to understand why everybody's fed up. There was a conversation
Exactly. This is why people are protesting.
Yeah, they were complaining about Congresswoman. I think she's a Congresswoman Maxine Waters.
Mm-hmm.
She got out the car and walked across the street to observe a stop or ask questions and observe a police stop. And they were expressing that they were frustrated and, you know, how it interferes with the job. And I said, okay, fine. But we're at a point in society where citizens don't trust y'all. Because y'all don't stand up against the others that you call bad apples. You shouldn't have a list of years of excessive force on anybody's file. If I show up late 3 times to a retail job in my first 90 days, I'm out of there.
Yep.
I'm out of there. There's no way, let alone cuss a customer out.
Yeah, they don't have nothing to lose. So let's say if they do get fired, they still got their pension. They still got all that.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be something in place where it's like for example, 3 strikes you're out, where if you continue to do something, you're going to lose certain benefits. You're going to lose possibly your pension if you really mess up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like any other place of employment.
But no, law enforcement is completely different. It's a whole different world.
I don't understand that. How can you be bad at your job and still keep it?
Yeah.
And then
in some states, the training is different than certain counties. It's different in counties. It's different in states. Like some states you have like a few weeks of training because they really need people. And some states you have 6 months of training. In some states you have a year of training. Like it's completely different everywhere across. And I think across the board it should be unified, and it's not.
Yeah. That's what is frustrating. I mean, my guys, they go to school for 7 months. That should be the minimum to carry or to have the power to use deadly force. Like the ability to use deadly force. That should be the minimum. That's a whole half a year of your life away from everybody, away from things. It's not about a quick job. It's not about quick money or anything like that. You're dedicating a part of your life to go do something. And you need a bachelor's degree or a significant military experience. It's not just something you can just go and apply to. And I think about the beginning of the police force started, I feel like it was people who, like if you go back, people didn't get degrees, who couldn't get degrees, couldn't get formal education, didn't really have any job prospects, and so they would just go into security or become police officers. And there's very little education, there's very little formal education. The criminal justice field just started about 50 years ago. It's not even as a study. Criminology as a study is very new, and a lot of these officers don't have that.
Or a background in psychology. You need to have at least a little bit of knowledge in psychology too to deal with certain situations.
Yeah, I don't understand why they don't assess them in that way.
Yeah,
you shouldn't. Your mental should be right to carry a gun.
You shouldn't be angry. Like I see so many like younger police officers that just have like this bitterness in them. they're just ready to tell somebody how wrong they are, and I don't understand that. I also think that they get called out on stuff that they really shouldn't be called out for.
That's true.
You know, little spats between neighbors shouldn't automatically mean police. Such stuff it should probably just be a dispute. You know, if you want to channel it to the courts and let the courts handle it, even though the courts are backdated. But at least whoever's really that serious or that deep can at least, you know, if they want to go through it, they can go through it. But some stuff is just police shouldn't be called for, you know, little stuff.
Yep. Governor Murphy just passed the law that it's going to be a crime if you call 911 if it has to do with anything involving race.
I was very happy to hear that. I was very happy to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
No, the Karens were upset.
Woo!
Oh, I had a Karen at work. Just a quick short story. I had a Karen at work yesterday. Was pissed because I couldn't help her with something. She wasn't mad at me. She was understandable, but she was just pissed. She's like, the county office can't help me either. And she's like, I'm going to move to somewhere where it's a Republican state. She's like, this governor is messing up everything for us. And I was like, have a blessed day. Enjoy your weekend. I don't want to hear your shit. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's so crazy how mad people are about. You either love them or you hate them, depending on your political affiliation. And I don't, you know, I think he did a good job considering where we were.
Yep. We were one of the only ones there in the green.
We don't have climbing cases anymore. But states down south where things don't make sense. Things just don't make sense. Oh
especially
my
Florida.
God.
If we can just saw off Florida, they would be eyed. Listen, I have family in Florida, but that's a whole different world over there.
That heat be getting to people's brain cells.
I always tell people I'm never moving to Florida. Never. They're too wild for me.
Yeah, when I go visit my family there, especially in certain areas, you know, like you ain't in the city no more.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
But,
It's different down there.
Yeah.
What does that scripture say? Sorry, Chani. What is that scripture, Marquita? It says there is wonderful joy ahead.
There's wonderful joy ahead. First
Man.
Oh,
I just read that.
Yeah.
We definitely need that right now.
Yeah, we do.
I know this has been like a heavy episode so far, but I just want to quickly talk about my boy Chadwick Boseman.
So sad.
You trying to make me cry today.
I'm sorry.
Cry today. No, I understand. That hurt. That really hurt.
I just
But
it made me reevaluate myself, and I was like, damn, I'm over here complaining about certain things, and I'm not pushing towards my goals as hard as I should be. And this man suffered in silence, did movies, looked awesome health-wise, and we didn't even know he was sick. Like, he is a 100% motivation for me, inspiration for me. Like, I just can't understand how someone can do that and still have like poise and grace and just suffer in silence, and then on the outside everything looks normal.
Yeah. That really got to me too, because something that I really do believe in, you never know what someone's going through, and it's not always your business to know. You never know what someone is going through, and to hear that, you know, some people who did catch on to how he was looking, you know, and losing weight, you know, they had negative things to say, and just berated him a little about, you know, his appearance and how he was starting to look.
There were memes going around.
He had to turn his comments off, and that was really frustrating because, again, you never know what someone's going through. You never know. He was really struggling.
You know?
And people are just, I just can't stand some people. It just really, oh, it frustrates me. It frustrates me. He was really suffering in silence, and he still did what he had to do.
Yeah.
And I was reading some articles that some of his co-stars in some of his movies that he worked with, they kind of thought he was a little bit of a diva because he would have a masseuse come. His girlfriend was always with him. He always had certain people around him in his camp. So they kind of thought, oh, he's nice, but he kind of seems like a diva. But now that we know that could have been a doctor, that could have been someone helping him out to help him feel better for his next filming scene.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I just want to say this. It's so important for us to be kind. It's so important for us to be kind. As a person myself who things that I struggle with, I don't always share. It's so important to be kind to people because you do not know what they are going through. You just don't know. So if I can stress to anybody watching, be kind. Be kind. Stop making everything about yourself. You don't know what anyone is going through at home. You don't know. Be nice. Smile. Check on people every now and again. It's okay. Be kind. Have compassion. Have empathy for people. Because guess what? You don't know when it's going to be you. And you're going to want that same grace, that same compassion, that same empathy, and that same kindness. Be kind to people. Sorry, I didn't mean to get too deep, but
you fine.
No, it's true though.
That was on my heart.
People gotta hear it sometimes, and sometimes you gotta reiterate yourself and continue to remind people because it's 2020 right now and people are acting a fool.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. People are so mean. So mean. It's horrible.
One thing about with social media is just it can be very toxic. It's so toxic. I remember when Mac Miller died. That's the rapper, right? That's his name.
Yeah.
And Ariana Grande had to turn off her comments because people were blaming her for his overdose. They weren't even together anymore.
Yep.
And everybody doesn't need access to everybody. You know, like everything isn't for everybody and everything isn't for everybody to comment on.
Absolutely.
And so for me, there's a certain level of, I think it's just, I don't know if it's sin. I don't know what could possibly possess a person to then go on somebody else's page and blame them for somebody else's death that they were romantically involved with. It doesn't make any sense to me. Even with Chadwick looking sick, I rarely comment on celebrities or any type of public thing on social media, shade room, whatever. But when you go and you read these comments that people took the time out of their day to write, some of them are so vile, so nasty, so mean.
I know, especially on the shade room. I'll be looking at the comments like, what are these people, like, who brought you up? Like, who are your parents? Like, who are you hanging around?
Yeah. I enjoyed Charlamagne's show, what was the one he did? It was like a short thing he did, and it was basically tracking down trolls or people who troll other people. Like he did it with some boy, and they went on and like say I was getting trolled by the same person all the time, and this one person, they went and found that person and like had them talk it out, like. But I just didn't. Usually it was because they were mad, they were jealous, it's just nasty. But I just can't see how you could be that nasty at somebody that you just go over and over again and you just keep saying nasty things in somebody's comments. It's just awful.
Well, I think it is sin. It is sin because a lot of the people who are nasty on social media and are constantly, spewing out negativity and hate, it's internal. It's something that they don't like about themselves. It's something that they haven't faced. They constant, and social media is a constant comparison game. You're looking at
Yeah.
other people's lives and comparing it up to yours, which God tells us not to do.
Yeah.
And then you build up jealousy, you build up envy and all this hate, and it comes out just by click of your fingers.
Preach, girl.
And so it definitely is sin. It is very sinful.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's why sometimes myself personally, I don't really post anymore on social media like I used to years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, there's been promotions in my life. Yeah, I've gotten new things. I've gotten certain things in my life that I might not want to share because I don't want to feel like I'm bragging or throwing it in people's faces, because I don't know, social media is a different world now than what it used to be. I miss my MySpace days where we had the top 8 and all.
I love MySpace. Oh my goodness, I love MySpace. But I agree though, Shan, because a lot of the gifts that God gives us and the blessings, it's not meant for everyone to know.
Yeah.
It's not meant for everyone to share, because people will hear about your blessings or find out about your gifts that you have, and they'll pray against that.
Mm-hmm.
Some things you cannot share with everybody.
Yep.
And you some things it's okay to keep to yourself.
Yeah.
My mother always says, I can show you better than I can tell you. Stop telling everybody your business and what you got going on for yourself. Something, keep it to yourself. And God even reveals that in his word. You do not have to share everything with everyone. It's not meant for everybody, especially on social media.
Especially also with your relationships too. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Like, I teach their own, but I don't really care to share, because in the event of something were to happen in your relationship, I don't want people nitpicking or having their opinion when it's not their relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely. And people post like all their stuff. Yeah, I just cut
Yeah.
them. We don't need to know all that. Keep that there. Keep it there. We don't need to know. Because it's inevitable. People are going to have an opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I have an opinion about the weather today. Like, that's just what it is, but if you don't want to hear other people's opinions, don't put it out there for nobody to know.
That's a smart thing. I think if you put it out there, then you're signaling to others, intentionally or unintentionally, that you are open for their opinion on whatever it is that you're posting or putting out there. I don't understand some people. They every relationship, everything they do in a relationship is like public knowledge. Every fight, every breakup, every makeup, every da da da.
And be posting the memes, like, who that's geared towards, or like a quote or some shit.
Yeah, like I know who you're talking about. And you know what? I say that I haven't shaded nobody on the internet in a long time, especially my husband. Like I just like why are you doing that? Because at the end of, especially if you live with him, go say it to him. Why are you posting it on the internet? You don't gotta do that. God. It's annoying. So immature. So immature.
Yeah, I haven't did a sub in a minute.
Goodness.
I haven't did a sub in a minute. But I remember I wasn't heavy. Like, I was on social media, but I was heavy. I didn't get on heavy on Twitter until I went away to college. Because the people I went to college with were heavy on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I realized I'm watching, everybody talked about everything on there. Everything. Every single thing. If we were all at a game, talking about the game. If we were all watching things, we were all on we used to have these church forums, and we used to go, and there'd be somebody singing. If somebody missed a note, tweets, doom, 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 doom. Everybody talking about, and you don't realize while you're in it that that's a person that you're commenting on. Say if they missed a note, say if they didn't do it right, say if they messed up. That's a person you're talking about. That most likely is also on social media and going to see these nasty comments. Sometimes I don't even comment. Like, if something really bad or something really embarrassing for somebody, I don't comment on it. Like, if it's really like not funny, they're not laughing along, but it's like looks like traumatic, I don't find that stuff funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People like to laugh at other people's pain.
They do. They
I
do.
don't like
It's
that.
horrible. It's horrible.
I don't like that.
There was supposed to be a rally for Trump in Texas. I think it was in Austin, Texas. There was supposed to be like a boat parade, and
The
4 of
boat.
those boats sank.
Oh. Oh man.
God
Oh
said
my
I
not
pray
today.
everyone got out safe, but
But yeah, they did.
Right.
that's that yeah that I thought that was a bit of a
goodness.
coincidence. Yeah, I saw that.
I bought a
Poor
dip
boat.
gel kit this week, but I didn't make
Did
it
you?
to the other hand. Yeah. I only did one
I
hand.
like
I
it.
didn't make it to the other hand. Oh, I think of something light. That was a heavy episode. It was good though.
Well, if you want to let our viewers know, I actually did just buy a brand new camera that we all can use. So that way we all can start recording together. I even went into finding mics. There's some new mics that we can attach to like our shirts over here, and it attaches to the camera. So we can have our each individual mic, and it's not even that expensive either. Oh my God, I was geeking out. I was like, oh, this is about to be lit.
So cool.
We can finally start doing some in person. Oh, that would be great. That would be
Yeah.
excellent.
So it's like a little boom box that attaches to the camera, but then it has like Bluetooth, so it goes to the receiver that you have on your side, and the sound quality sounds freaking amazing,
Is
like
it orgasmic?
butter. Oh,
We about to be in there.
yeah, we
So
are.
cool.
What if each of us have a personal goal for the next week?
I am starting a new challenge. I'm doing a 21-day challenge. So if you ladies want to join, feel free. Anyone listening, if you want to join, feel free. It's something small and simple that you can do. It might be hard for some, but personally, I think it's doable. I'm gonna start running a mile a day. I hate cardio. I like lifting. So I like lifting so much more better. But yeah, I don't feel comfortable going to the gym just yet. Even though I'm dying to go pick up some weights and put them down. But I'm gonna just start this challenge. With the mile, you can walk, you can speed walk, or you can run. But I want to like start building up my cardiovascular system, and so I'm gonna start running at least 1 mile a day. So it's every day though.
I'll
Like
do it
1 day
with you. I
straight.
need the motivation. Marquita actually started running, and then it inspired me to remind myself, Dom, you need to start losing your weight again. Like I lost a bunch of weight and then I gained some back because of the quarantine, but now I'm like, all right. So I need the motivation. So I'm with you. Run every day.
And then
at
there's
least a mile.
also on the Nike Run app, we can do a challenge where we set a mile goal. So we do like 21 miles, and then we can all check on each other's progress. So it's kind of like a little bit of a competition. And you're like, shit, Marquita did 3 miles. I only did 2 miles so far. So kind of give you a little bit of motivation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I recently just started running 5 miles a day.
You said
really?
Yeah, not to toot my horn. I think for me this week, I just want to stay consistent with what I've been doing. I love waking up early in the morning and dedicating myself to my conversations with the Lord. I run, I journal. I just take time to myself to reflect on what's important to me, and just really just enjoying the time to myself. So I'm completely with that with the running. I will definitely do the 21-day challenge with you because I'm all about that. I'm really dedicated to my health. I don't know if I told you, but I'm a pescatarian now. So we only eat like seafood and, and veggies. So I'm really dedicated to that. And just staying consistent with that. That's all. Just staying consistent with my health. And I do want to start getting into weightlifting because I want to get some more muscle. So yeah, that's basically my goals for the week. Just staying consistent with what I'm doing.
Sounds good. For me, I want to make sure that I'm balancing my work life. work life school. Um,
Yeah.
you know, with the law school, plus working from home, plus, you know, making sure that I'm balancing, you know, family time as well. It's been, at first it was okay. And this last week, like week 3, it was just kind of like, this is not working. But I'm motivated to try to make it, you know, a little bit better. We've set aside things, so the schedule with our daughter to make things better, as long as I kind of stick to it. I also want to make sure I'm dedicating time for myself. I did notice, like in the mornings, if I get up and the first thing I do is go on a run, my body and my mind is so much clearer for the rest of the day. So I think I'm going to make sure that I'm dedicating myself to that, because it just allows me to just clear my mind, clear my sinuses, and clear my body and my spirit. So I'm with that 21-day challenge. Thank you for giving us a challenge. I'm excited about that. And just making sure I'm not stressing myself out, you know, ready to pull my hair out. So I'm very excited about that. So
We got this, guys. We'll
21 day
get through
challenge.
this.
I'm ready for that. So I think that's a good thing to suggest for everybody out there. It'll be dope. Thanks for that, Shan.
I don't think it's that hard either. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's doable. Even if you walk, you'll get through it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we want to thank you for tuning in this week. I know this episode might have been a little heavy, but sometimes we got to have those heavy conversations and got to talk about things that we don't want to talk about. But we appreciate you tuning in. We look forward to giving you guys that 21-day challenge. So please stay tuned for that. Again, please check out our social media page on Instagram. Please check out our Spotify and also our YouTube channel as well.
Good night.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.